Have you ever wondered how to take your giant hopes, dreams, and aspirations, those big art goals, and turn them into something that's actually tangible and actionable on a day-to-day level? Well, in this video, I show you just that, how to do that in 6 little steps. I'm going to use some of my own examples of my 2021 art and YouTube goals, and I will use this new Plum Paper Daily Planner, but it's totally not necessary for you to have one. I used this system for many months on just giant pieces of paper. It's really simple, but it will get you moving in the right direction towards those big goals. At the very end of the video, I also have a tiny little surprise for you that I think you'll really enjoy if you like this kind of video. And with that, let us jump straight into the planning process together. Step 1, write yourself a letter. Define those goals for the year and put them in a letter addressed to yourself. So yes, in this first step, you have to figure out what is it that you want. Then within that, make sure you also have some very high level ideas of how you can achieve that. What's the plan? I'm not talking about the nitty-gritty at this stage, but what are some ideas of steps you can take to reach those goals? And then date it and seal it. And yes, actually mail it to yourself. This is the moment. I have written down my 2021 goals in a letter that I'm sending to myself. So what I have is multiple outcomes, and then those are kind of the big pie in the sky dreams that I can't necessarily control. But then I have the input, like what I think I need to do this year to possibly make that happen, or to, get some movement in that direction. It might be a silly little exercise, and I don't think I have done this before, but I don't think it can hurt. I think it'll hold me extra accountable for 2021 because I know I will have the plan to open this on camera. So let me add just a few little extra doodles. Step 2, you are going to take your high-level plan that you just defined in that letter, and you're going to break it down into 2 little camps. The first one is going to be all that small, repeatable stuff that you can do daily, that you can do weekly. It can become a habit without it, changing, without it necessarily requiring a ton of growth and knowledge before that. I'll give you some examples of that in a few seconds. And then in the second pile, you're going to put everything that is a much more complex goal. And for that, you're going to actually go and define a ton of the different subtasks. Now, you can decide how detailed you want to do that. I'll give you one example that you're also going to see in a second here, and that is that I have a task that's called edit video. Well, that is how I plan it into my life, but when I'm actually doing the work, I make another checklist of everything that has to go into that, right? I have to do the cuts, I have to, find the music that matches, I have to adjust the audio, I have to do the overlays, sometimes when you see little text or stars or things sparkling, right? Everything is an extra step that I need to do. But for my planning purposes, I really don't need 17 different things cluttering up my calendar. I just put edit video. So you have to decide how detailed you need to plan that into your calendar. The planner I have is from Plum Paper Planner. I have never used one of these before. This is my very first purchase with them. I got the daily design. Started categorizing which color I'll be using for which kind of task. What I do first is I start putting in my recurring tasks. So for example, I have a goal to continue to send out my postcards, and my goal is to send that out to 2 different new recipients per week. So I will create 4 little tasks for the 4 Sundays of the month. Another habit that I'm going to plan for every Sunday is the tracking of statistics. For example, Instagram doesn't give you the ability on a regular kind of profile to see more than 7 days back for your statistics. So if I'm trying to measure growth and engagement over a year, then I cannot do that if I don't track it myself. So that's why I have this little to-do on my calendar every single week. My next step then is to break down some of the other activities that I have planned. If you've watched my other planning video, you already know that my plan for every single week is to publish one YouTube video. But of course, that is way more than one step that goes into it in the planning process. So what I'm going to do is create these separate tasks. So I'm actually working on the video right now that I need to put on my calendar. So I need to record the planning video, then I need to edit the planning video, I need to upload the planning video, create closed captions, create a thumbnail for the planning video, and so many more things. I need to look at SEO, I need to figure out the title, there's all these different steps. This is a small example of all the little steps that I would plan in during my week to make sure that I have this out in time. Step 3, once you have defined all those little tasks at whatever level of detail you need, then you take all those and you put them in your monthly plan. Yes, you plan that out for at least a month in advance. At the beginning of the month, I put in the different tasks where I think I will plan to do them. One of my other goals is by the end of May to have 10 more postcard illustrations. So you know those pattern illustrations that I create? Let me show you real quick. This is the start of what I would like to turn into a little collection, but I need a lot more designs. So my target is by the summer to have 10 additional designs, and what that means is I again have to break it down into a bunch of steps. In this case, you have 3 illustrations. In this one, you have 4 different illustrations that I have to paint. Again, working backwards from what my goal is to actually plan that into a calendar. If I want 10 new designs like this by the end of May, that's 5 months, so 2 new postcard or pattern designs a month, meaning that I would have to get one done approximately every 2 weeks, and that would include 3 to 4 new paintings. So now I got to figure out, okay, that's about 8 new watercolor paintings that I need to fit into a 4-week period. I would repeat this process for many other tasks. Step 4, refer to that monthly plan when you do your daily planning. Those tasks have to have a priority slot. Move them from the monthly view into your daily plan. I would go and I would take all these little tasks and I move them to that day. I will take this task and plug it up here into the correct category. And then I will add a bunch of other tasks that maybe have come up the day before or are just not kind of these recurring themes that I have on my calendar, because the majority of things that I use these stickers for and to plan the month in advance for are really the things that I am trying to achieve with my artwork. And the reason that I do that is because I want to make room for them, right? Plan around those. You know you have to do those. So if you don't already block out those days, then it's very easy to run out of time to actually get those done and make other plans. So that's why they take priority in that monthly overview. But then when I get to the day-to-day, I add a bunch of other things that have to happen that day. And then I also want to send my 2020 goals to myself in the mail so that I have that sealed version of what my outlook was at the beginning of the year and what I challenged myself to achieve. Step 5, stay flexible and readjust. you are going to have situations where you're not able to meet your ambitious plan, and that's okay. That's why I plan on that monthly level or have a goal for each week with a video, for example, so that I can flexibly adjust and make it fit within my life. If I'm tired, if I'm sick, if other priority comes up, if I'm working late, whatever it may be, I have flexibility within the week to still get it done. Make sure while you're planning that you are planning to stretch yourself, but don't box yourself in so tight that you're constantly failing and you are unable to meet any of these goals, because if you can't get any of these tasks done, you will very likely just give it all up. So leave yourself a little wiggle room, maybe leave a day or two here or there where you have nothing planned, so that if needed, those are your ways that you can adjust and relocate some tasks to another point in time and still stay on track. This would be my approach, and then of course I can either check it off, or if that didn't work, they are removable. I can move this little sticker either to the next day or back to the monthly plan to find another spot where that will work better. If I don't get it done or plans change, my goal usually is to have my tasks done by either the end of that week or the end of that month. So I do give myself that flexibility. Step 6, make sure you review at the end of the month what you've actually achieved. Don't just jump into the next month without looking back to see how far you've come. Now I will show you what my January plan looks like as of right now. All right, I promised you a little surprise, and here it is. I have created a little playlist for you. I will make sure that it is linked at the top, but it's also in the notes below, and at the very end of the video, it is linked in one of the end cards. So why did I create a playlist, and how is this a surprise? Well, I wanted to make sure that because I'm still a newer channel and I don't have that many videos yet, I have all these ideas and all this knowledge and research and experience and failure and everything that I want to share with you from my illustration journey. But until I can get all that up, I want to make sure that you still get the very best content. So I have created this playlist. I have curated some really great videos from other artists, other illustrators that either are setting their own 2021 goals, which might be inspiring and interesting to you, or have their own tips to share with you for how you can really set and achieve some of those art goals. So I really, really hope that the list is helpful to you. I've also created one about how to get started in illustration, which I will also link at the very end of the video. There is such incredible content out there, and I have been so grateful for being able to learn from these other artist YouTubers that I just really wanted to share them with you in case you haven't seen them yet. So let me know if that's something that is helpful to you, that you want me to continue to do, or if it's like, yeah, you don't really care. So please leave me a comment with what you think about that. All right, I wish you an incredible day and happy planning.